All the hits, Q97.1, Danny Salas, all the way live from Wrestlemania, Orlando, Florida. We're going coast to coast, baby, from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I'm sitting here with the lovely Renee Young. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. You have a really great radio voice.
Thanks.
Good for you. Yeah, you have you just had that down.
You're awesome. Thanks.
You've been here and done that. Cool.
I pride myself on great introductions. That's what I pride myself on.
I like the coast to coast. You know, you got to
like
show
that?
up on the East Coast every once in a while.
That's
You
what
know.
I do.
Here
Come
you
on.
are.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, hey, I just want to say, talking to you specifically is actually kind of cool. I had a chance to talk with Corey Graves earlier too, but like talking to you, because you're just like me. You talk on the mic. You get paid to spit on the mic.
We do.
I love that. So getting your perspective is a little different than talking to some superstars.
100%. Right? I know it's funny. I was around her. They're like, "How was it you being interviewed?" I'm like, "Well, I don't have to prepare anything, so that's kind of nice. I just kind of show up,
just show up and look pretty.
Show up and try to hang out, and hopefully you don't say anything stupid or inappropriate." Which I sometimes feel like I do that because I'm so used to being in your spot that I'm a little more aware. As soon as I'm not doing that, I'm like, I let it fly, and sometimes things happen.
Well, I will say this. Feel free to say anything inappropriate right now, because viral videos is where it's at. That's what it's all about.
Get those hits.
Right?
Make it happen.
Get those clicks. Get that clickbait.
Well, dude, I got something to say.
Right?
Oh
You'll never believe what Renee Young said at WrestleMania weekend. It was unbelievable.
That'd be awesome.
So this is
huge.
The city of Orlando is literally shut down right now.
It is so crazy every year when we do WrestleMania that the town becomes WrestleMania.
Right.
Every single time. I mean, it's so cool. Especially, I mean, Orlando it's our town. We've got NXT based out of here. The Performance Center's out of here. So I always feel comfortable in Orlando. It was always very funny to me when I first moved to the U.S. and I was living in New York, and I was down in Florida all the time. And I'm like, it's so weird to me that I know my way around Orlando.
All right.
It's so bizarre. But yeah, it's great. It's my first time actually checking out Access today. So it's pretty badass.
And I think WrestleMania weekend specifically is kind of one of the rare times where you actually do get to check out the town. Because you figure you're traveling all the time, just town to town. You get to see the arena and the hotel, basically, right?
Yeah, we don't see a whole lot unless we're like the only, well, I don't want to say the only towns, but I've got towns that I definitely like to stick around in or find some stuff, which is Seattle, Nashville. I love Corpus Christi. Those are kind of my main ones that I like to definitely hang out in. But
I dig it. We got some good hot spots in Fresno. I'll put you in the right direction when you're in Fresno.
I think we're in Fresno in not that long, right?
May 2nd.
Okay,
SmackDown
great.
Live, May 2nd.
Well, we will be there.
I love it. I dig it.
I might bring my dog to that.
Sweet.
Don't tell anyone. They might not let him in the building.
I'm going to find you some dog-friendly restaurants and dog parks.
Perfect.
It'll be cool.
Oh, my God, that'd be great. I would love that.
So let's talk about your coming up. Before we talk about all the festivities on WrestleMania weekend, because we got the Hall of Fame tonight.
It's
and
all
NXT.
happening.
Man, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I know.
I want to talk about Renee Young here for a minute.
Okay.
So sitting here in front of me in 2017, how did Renee Young get? Because you've done TV before.
Yeah.
And like you said,
I'm like an old grizzled vet.
Real?
Yeah.
You call yourself an OG now? Yeah? Are you the OG?
I feel like I've been doing TV since I was like 19. I'm just like, oh.
But under a different name, so it doesn't count.
Exactly, right? None of it
No,
counts. None of it counts.
Right.
Just a little experience that I remember.
Right. So how did you get from a nice young Canada girl to where we are sitting in front of you in 2017?
I mean, there's been so many different things. There's been ups and downs in different careers, different job, or not different careers. It's always been kind of the same career, but different jobs within that career of being a TV host and being a broadcaster. I feel like the main thing, though, is that I've always kind of been the same person, which I think has been cool. I mean, I've always had a pretty good awareness of like what my voice and what my tone is as a broadcaster. So I think that that's always been super beneficial to me to have that direction and kind of know where I was going, rather than I never really had like that huge growth of like deciding what I wanted to sound like and what I wanted to do. There was definitely a time that I look back at some stuff and I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I saying?
Right.
Oh, but especially my mom's like, why are you saying those things on TV? I'm like, I don't know, but it seemed funny to me at the time.
I don't know why I did it.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I got
we have
with
things
it.
like that. But yeah, I think to be able to go from doing the shows that I was doing in Toronto, and then joining WWE and being able to come in here and start off as doing the backstage interviews. I've been doing this show Vintage with Gene Okerlund. It was one of the first things I've ever done with WWE. I still do that show now. I get to hang out with Gene once a month, which is the best. I love him. And then, I mean, from doing kickoff shows to doing Talking Smack to doing Total Divas, it's like
Unfiltered?
Unfiltered.
Give
a little shout out to Unfiltered.
Cool, I got a plug.
But yeah, I think it's been you just kind of roll with it and kind of grow with it with each thing. And especially with WWE, I've been able to kind of start off as one thing and kind of grow and develop into another thing. And now I feel like I'm finally at the point where I can just be the truest state of being myself.
Yeah.
You know, which is really cool. It's nice to have arrived in that spot again.
I dig it. So like doing what you do, how did you pattern yourself? Like who did you kind of look to for like, hey, how should my cadence be here?
Yeah.
How should I carry myself in this situation?
So I started off studying acting, and that's always what I had my heart set on, was being an actress. And I do think the training that I had in comedy and improv and different acting classes and stuff have definitely helped shape my persona on television, and I can rely on myself in that way, especially with like improv and whatnot. But before I got into being a TV host, I just wanted to be an actress, and in Canada it's a little hard sometimes to catch a break, and I got very frustrated and wanted to start working. So that's when I looked into being a TV host. But I can remember very specifically of hearing Chelsea Handler the first time. I was like sleeping on my couch and I could hear this show happening, and I like woke up. I'm like, what is that? That's what I want to do. I like that she could just like, she was herself. She wasn't taking herself too seriously. But I think like from what she's been able to do, I think Kelly Ripa does such a fantastic job. And then I've also just been like a huge late night fan too. It's like I think the way that Johnny Carson was able to always make people feel so comfortable, and he could either help lift the show up or sit back and let the other person kind of do their thing. I think that's always been kind of more of the stuff that I've looked at.
Look at you dropping names right here. I dig it.
Yeah, I really had I had a lot of stuff that I was very influenced by early on. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah,
well, I want to say you got a great radio voice too.
Thank you.
Honestly, right?
Great. I would love to have a radio show. I also just love projecting my music taste on people. So if I could just have a show where I could just spin whatever I want to be a little all over the place, but that'd be awesome.
What's in your iPod right now? What's in your deck?
You know who I've really been into lately is Maren Morris. She's a country singer. She's opening for Chris Stapleton right now, and I'm not normally a big country person per se. I've got some stuff that I really like, but I listen to her. I've always been listening to Jenny Lewis. I always listen to Neil Young. Those are always kind of like my main go-tos.
Eclectic,
but
baby.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
That's cool.
I'm all over the place. And A Tribe Called Quest, their new album, has been really great. So I've been playing a lot of that.
Girl dropped some name drop Tribe. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Well, Renee Young, I really super appreciate your time. I know you're doing a million of these interviews today, but one more time, I want to remind everybody, WrestleMania this Sunday on WWE Network. Tonight, the Hall of Fame, NXT TakeOver this weekend. Man,
it's all going down.
Everything's going down. Renee Young, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Last words for Fresno before we see you on May 2nd?
Fresno, I can't wait to come out there and hang out, and I'm going to bring my dog. I'm going to find these dog-friendly restaurants, and I'm going to set up shop, and I'll let you all know where I'll be if anyone cares to come over and have a sangria. I don't know.
I dig it. Count me in. Renee Young in the building. It's Q97.1 WrestleMania weekend, baby.